morning. My name is Lorene. Welcome to Books at the Bottom of the Stairs. I'd like to introduce you to my husband, Steve, who
Hello.
is amusing me today by being a guest on today's book reviews. So we discovered that there is a challenge out there for the month of April called the O.W.L.s, and we decided to participate because why not? And we looked at all the different job options that were available, and I believe that you chose wand maker?
Yes,
Was it a wand maker? Okay.
wand maker.
And, well, I think alchemist would have been more suitable for Steve, but that just meant a ridiculous amount of reading, and so since this is supposed to be amusing, I didn't want to torture him.
It was a ridiculous amount of work for very little actual power. And since I already did that by taking an architecture degree, I thought, not again.
Okay. So we're going to show you the books that we're choosing to read for the month of April so that we can get our owl levels. I'm going to be an herbologist. I didn't realize it was sort of the lowest possible ambitious thing. I thought it was going to be kind of tricky, but I only have to get 3 owls, and Steve has to get, you have to get 5 owls, right?
And how many if I wanted to be an alchemist?
I think it was 7 plus a couple of extra things to do on the side. So, and Cleobel is not happy that we're talking to a machine and not her. So, okay, for your first owl, you have to do runes, and that has a heart on the cover or in the title.
And so for that, I've selected Edgar Lee Masters' Spoon River Anthology, which is a set of poems in the manner of epitaphs on gravestones. And some of the gravestones on the cover have hearts on them,
Right.
such as right there.
I did not have to do runes, so I got off lucky because it took us ages. So one of the things we restricted ourselves to is the books had to be in the building because, well, no, that's not true. But they had to be mostly in the building because we can't get to the library or the bookstores. So mostly in the house. The next one that I had to get was Magical Creatures with a creature with a beak on the cover. So I chose South of North, Images of Canada, drawings by Thoreau MacDonald, and the poems are Richard Outram. So I love the woodcuts of Thoreau, and it's really more about the drawings than it is about the poems. I think I've scanned this before, but I'm not the best at poetry, so I think this will be a quick read, and but a pretty read. It's a beautifully constructed book. It's being published by Porcupine Quills out of Ontario, and I think it'll be quite nice, especially at the end of the day. What did you get next?
So for Magical Creatures with a Beak, I got an actual magical creature with a beak. It's a picture of a phoenix on the cover of a book called Phoenix at Coventry by Basil Spence. And this is the story of the rebuilding of Coventry Cathedral after the bombings of the Second World War. It's a book I've had for about 10 years. I've dipped into it a bunch of times, but I've never actually read it.
Yay for beaks. All right, you also have to do arithmancy, which is read outside your favorite genre.
And so for that, I'm cheating because I had just finished the book Melmoth by Sarah Perry, which is a Gothic novel, and Gothic novels are not big in my world, but it's the story of Melmoth, who is the witness, the watcher. She's a legendary figure who was one of the women who witnessed Jesus rising from the tomb, but who later denied that he rose. And her condemnation is to witness the darkness in people's hearts.
It's got beaks on the front too.
Does it? Well, only
Barely,
implied beaks.
barely, yes.
Implied beaks.
Okay. So my next owl had to be Herbology. Title starts with, and here we went a little bit ugly. It's supposed to be an M, but reading the document, I saw I, like a few other people. And so we searched the house up and down for books that had I in the title. Later where we found out that it was to be an M, but we decided let's just go where the energy has been. So I'm reading a book. Now, here we go. Double geeking to computers. It's called Into the Forest, a novel by Jean Hegland. And I gather it's now a motion picture, but I haven't seen it. So it's two girls out in the forest. The world has shut down. I don't think there's a plague. I think it's mostly a war. So they're dealing with diminishing food resources. Parents have died. And I'm going to try and show you the cover. That probably didn't work, but you know, why not try these things? So that's the only book that we have that's outside of the house. I'm having to read it on the computer because it's an ebook, and that should be interesting because I really don't like doing that. So the book better be pretty good to keep me going.
Mm-hmm. So my iBooks are all throwbacks. The first one is a book I bought in Rome in 1983. It's Goethe's Italian Journey. I is for Italian. But it's kind of like getting to be an old paperback with yellow pages and a lot of tiny print. So then I thought, well, maybe there's something livelier, and I remembered Italo Calvino's If on a Winter's Night a Traveler, which probably bought about 2 years later, so probably 1985. But that's also a book with, you know, I've read it before, I haven't read it in a long time. It might be fine, but if I run out of energy, I have in my back pocket the little book of Imperceptibly Amusing Puns by Gemma Campbell. So that's
Gemma Correll.
Gemma Correll. See, I didn't wear my glasses because I'm vain. So that might be my way of getting out of jail for free.
Well, I also discovered Idylls of the King, or Idylls, I don't know, by Tennyson. And so, in the spirit of sort of adventures and romance and so forth, if you are confused and doing I instead of M, I think Alfred Lord Tennyson's book about King Arthur is also a good option. Okay, so the last ones, you still have two. Oh, you didn't do herb. Yeah, okay. I'm confused. The next one you have to do is Charms.
And Charms is?
A white cover.
So for the white cover, this is a book we picked up at Bookmark in our last binge of buying books before everything got shut down. It's a book by Wu Ming Yi called The Stolen Bicycle. It's set in Taiwan, and it's the story of a father who disappeared and who disappeared with his bicycle.
And he's going to try and find the bicycle.
The son is trying to find the bicycle in a way as a way of finding the father. And the cover is white-ish.
How does one define white these days? All right.
Edition Gallimard. They're all white.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, the next one I have is Potions. That's the last one for me. And that is less than 150 pages. So, what am I going with? So, I got this one quite a long time. It's Decline of the English Murder by George Orwell. It's a Penguin book. And I guess it's sort of a non-fiction essay kind of thing.
It's an essay about the decline of the quality of English murder writing.
Oh, that's going to be one that hits a few nerves potentially. Could be exciting. So I'm hoping to finish this one. It is 17 pages if you include the notes. So I'm looking forward to that. And you have which one left?
None.
You're all done?
I thought, how many do I have to do?
5. 1,
Yeah,
2,
I got
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's us for owls. Steve always does really well. I expect that he's going to soar through this, and I'm a flake when it comes to exams and getting good grades, so who knows? I expect you'll excel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
And set up a wand-making operation.
Right, and what would be your location of, like, location?
Well, right now in the basement, because I have 2 very long, very large wands that I'm working on. One is the gaff and one is the boom for my sailboat.
Aha.
But they are made out of very fine woods.
Yes.
Sanded and painted, and
Yes.
One of them might have unicorn hair down the center. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, I'd like to see you wave those around.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. All right, that's it for us today. I hope you're all doing well. Bye-bye.
So long.